Wait, there's something very weak coming through.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Hello, fellow galactic listeners. I'm Todd Hoffman, and this is WSTR Galactic Public Access, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 121. Today, we're going across the universe to Avengers Endgame. Joining me today, as always, is Miss Heather Allred.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
And Mr. Aaron Julian is being scholastic again.
Yes.
And he has the night off.
So Jedi Council meeting or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Some Jedi Council projects, assignments in the Outer Rim, you know. So, yeah, he will not be joining us tonight. But he's always here in the Force. He's here in the Force.
He is. We'll try and make a good dad joke somewhere down the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Well, Todd, let's do Cantina Chat.
Oh, let's.
And there's only one reason, and that's because of this recording 2 days ago was May the 4th. So, in honor of celebrating May the 4th, let's Cantina Chat it up.
I think that's a great idea. I love it.
Great.
So why don't you lead? Because you teased us last week about this amazing delayed 40th birthday party.
True.
And you are going to dress up.
Yes,
so
yes.
Lay it down for our listeners. What's happening?
So I have 6 girlfriends at my work, and we have lunch together. So we call each other the lunch buddies. And I got
not the lunch ladies.
No, the lunch buddies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lunch ladies is a little older. We're not quite there yet.
Right. Okay.
And I was talking about them about doing something for my birthday, and they're like, "Well, why don't we just plan something for you?" And I said, "Okay." And I got this email saying, "Hey, it looks like May 4th is going to work for everybody." And I said, "Great." And so basically, we just need you at so-and-so's house at this time, and you need to be in costume.
Okay.
Well, for those of you who don't know, I love going in costume. So I had 3 costumes in my head. I had that would be really cool. That's clearly the backup plan. And then why would I not do the third option because it's May the 4th?
Right. Okay. Yes. Got it.
So I had high hopes for C2E2 this past year to go in a costume. Unfortunately, C2E2 as a whole kind of failed. But
yeah,
not C2E2 failed. I failed in attending C2E2.
To go to C2E2. Yes.
So thanks to some Google searching and my good friend Heather, who helped with some of the craftiness of it, I, for May the 4th, went to my birthday party as an Ewok. And
nice.
Was adorable, if I do say so myself.
And was adorable.
I'm such a weirdo. But yeah, so it was super fun.
Awesome.
And it was great because my friend Lindsay dressed up as Rey, complete with 3 hair bun situation. So that was a lot of fun. So we went on a little scavenger hunt.
What?
I know. They set up a little scavenger hunt for me, and at the end of it, we came back, and my friend Heather, her husband Matt, baked cupcakes and decorated them as Star Wars characters.
Oh my gosh.
So
what is happening?
I don't know. All I know is I'm very loved, and I felt really blessed and had an amazing May the 4th. So
that's awesome. That's great. Did you go out to dinner? Or just give it?
We did go out to dinner,
Okay.
something kind of cheap and local because,
Oh, okay.
that's how we roll.
That's right.
But when we came back to my friend's house, we did like cupcakes and a movie.
Oh, nice.
And oh my gosh, I'm going to lose all of my Star Wars cred. We watched Winter Soldier because I was in the mood for a cute boy. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's fine.
So.
That's okay.
But it was my birthday, so.
You could do that.
I'm just going to put that out there.
Right. You could do that. That's fine.
Yeah. So I had a pretty stellar May the 4th, and I think for you guys out there, hopefully you've already seen my Ewok costume because Todd put it out there into the atmosphere, but
I did.
I'll try and that's what I know.
Yeah. Well, maybe you get you'll send a group picture out so I could post that.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my day.
Wow. Did you do anything for Revenge of the 5th?
My allergies took Revenge of the 5th on me. The 5th was a little rough. I woke up with a pretty decent headache.
Oh, nice.
So, I had too much partying the previous day, apparently.
Apparently. Right. Exactly. 2 kegs later, you're like, man, that was rough.
It was too much. It was too much, man. Too much. Too much celebration. So
that's great.
So
that is fantastic.
Not as much partying as the 4th, but that is okay.
Oh, right. That's okay.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Well, Todd, I'm sure you did something.
Of course, it's May the 4th. It's a national holiday,
right?
So yeah, I trooped. So, that was a lot of fun. And so we did this local thing at Lockport Township, and they just had, May the 4th Star Wars Day.
Nice.
So there was quite a few of us, and I would say 7, I think. And we were out there just, they had like check your kids' car seat, make sure they don't fly out the back seat, that kind of thing. And they have fire trucks and local, stuff there. And so it was a beautiful day. Beautiful.
Oh, yes,
day.
It was.
So it was gorgeous. Actually, it didn't snow, which was great for us Chicagoans.
Yes.
And so just had a great time trooping. It was also talk about happy accidents. It was also free comic book day.
True.
So took Trent to the comic book store and got some comics, and then Lego was giving away an exclusive set for May the 4th. If you spent so much money on Lego Star Wars, I said, okay, take my money. And so Trent and I went to the Lego store and picked up some Legos, and then we got like this free like micro set that is like made out of, it's like Empire Strikes Back, but and like the Snow Hoth level, but it's like super tiny. And that was fun. So that was cool. And then we watched Solo. The whole fam we watched Solo after dinner. We watched Solo because it was May the 4th.
Totally.
And so wanted to do that. And I was on Yahoo Entertainment.
What? Do tell.
No big deal. So I don't know if I said this in our celebration recap. I'm not sure because at the time I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. But basically on Saturday of celebration, I had the opportunity to interview with Yahoo Entertainment, and I'm like, okay. And, basically said it was for May the 4th. And I was like, oh, okay. No, cool. It's cool. And so I didn't know if it was going to happen or not because he interviewed like a ton of different people. So I was like, okay, let's see if this is going to work or not. And I interviewed with this guy called Adam Lance Garcia.
Okay.
And you can follow him on just Twitter on Adam Lance Garcia. And he's part of Yahoo Entertainment. And he's a pretty cool guy. So did the interview, went well. And I don't remember what I said. I really don't. I was like...
It was an out-of-body experience.
It's not a bad experience. So I was like, I hope I said something that's I guess filmable or whatever.
Yeah.
So he basically he interviewed a bunch of people, and so I started stalking him like on Twitter, just like, okay, is he posting anything? And he posted something late May 3rd, and I made the cut. I was like, oh, so and that was a pretty cool 5 seconds of fame. So I was very happy with that.
Yes.
That definitely made a good May the 4th. So if you haven't checked it out, go to Yahoo Entertainment, or you can follow Adam Lance Garcia on the old Twitter. And it's just basically, actually you could go to YouTube and do like Yahoo Entertainment May the 4th, and it'll pull up, and it's a bunch of Star Wars stories, which is cool. And I am part of that. So I was like,
You're so cool.
You know. So there you have it. That was May the 4th. And then like I think I overexerted myself on May the 4th because I had the same thing. Revenge of the 5th. It hurt. I was not feeling well. I came home and mowed the lawn, and I raked, and I trooped, and I went to the store. I went out, did all the stuff, and like I had a birthday party to go to, and after church, and I was like, I didn't feel good. So I watched 2 more Star Wars movies. So I watched Rogue One and Last Jedi. So
there you go.
So I watched Solo, Rogue One, and Last Jedi this weekend, and it was a lot of fun. So, but I'm feeling better now.
Good.
So there
Good.
you go. Yeah.
All right.
Just in case you were concerned, Heather.
I'm always concerned. Yes.
So there you have it. That was our May the 4th. I think we both equally won.
I think so.
Yeah.
Definitely beat Aaron, but
yeah,
he can't.
I don't know.
He can't defend himself. So
he can't defend himself. So we're saying we won and Aaron lost. There you go.
So, well, Todd, I have
Heather.
0 news teasers for you today because we're going to go straight into it.
Let's do it.
And now, the Star Wars news of the week.
I want everyone just to take a moment and prepare yourself. Grab the box of Kleenex. Because Thursday, May 2nd, there was a great disturbance in the Force.
Yeah.
As Peter Mayhew, our beloved Chewbacca, passed away.
Yeah, that was tough going into May the 4th, but it also it was kind of fitting too, because you get to celebrate him.
Yes.
At the same time, when people pass away, sometimes it's all of a sudden like, oh, you kind of like remember all the good stuff, and you kind of forget, like, I don't know, sometimes you wait till the end to actually remember all the cool stuff they do. I mean, that's just kind of human nature. But he basically was a walking carpet and fell into our hearts, and his acting as basically a guy in a gorilla suit, a monkey suit, whatever you want to call it. He really did charm our hearts,
Well, let me share just a couple little tidbits there, just because I feel like it's really important that we honor Peter here. So, born May 19th, 1944, with his official passing date of April 30th.
Right, yeah.
And so he portrayed, wow, that's a hard word, Chewbacca, basically from the original 1977 film all the way to the 2015 Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really in it for all of it, you guys. And I'm sure, while not portraying, was involved in Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, potentially.
Yeah. He kind of Jonas, or I think that's how you say
Jonas,
it.
Jonas. I don't know. I say both.
Yeah. Jonas. There was a couple, he sent such, he was sending some tweets out, and they're just like beautiful. And like there's a couple behind the scene photos of him, like they're watching actual footage of like him and the old series, and Peter Mayhew's like giving pointers, and it's like, it's awesome, so
yes.
Chewie, we'll still see Chewie on the screen, but it's not going to be the same as Peter Mayhew, but I know we're in good hands with Jonas.
Yes. So. And I thought this was really sweet from Mr. Lucas saying, the closest any human being could be to a Wookiee, big heart, gentle nature, and I learned to always let him win. So I think that's super sweet.
Yeah.
At 7 foot 3
awesome.
inches. Just let him win.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so obviously, there's so much about Chewbacca to talk about, but Todd, what are some of your favorite Chewbacca moments?
Oh,
I know it's a hard question.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You want to do like a top 5?
Sure.
Okay, top 5. We're making this up. Making this up. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if this is really well. I'll try to do an order because I'm doing off this cuff. I'm going to do a bonus one. Because I know it's Jonas, it's not Peter Mayhew, but in The Force Awakens, when they're setting the thermal detonators, it's such a simple thing, but he's climbing up the ladder and he's kind of grunting and stuff. And I just this is like Chewie's element. Like I could see him like in Kashyyyk, like climbing up like huge, trees or whatever. And it's just this really simple moment of like him being kind of athletic. I'm like, dude, I love this part. I don't know why. Okay. Oh man, there's so many. Okay. All right. Here we go. I call him Frosted Flakes Chewie because when he's in the snow and Empire Strikes Back and they're after the probe droid and he kind of stands up and he's like, he's got all the fur frozen. I love that. I don't know why. Anytime Chewie is welding, and that's also in Empire Strikes Back when he's talking to Harrison or Han Solo, and he's like, "Rawr, rawr, rawr," and he's like, goes back to welding with his glasses. I don't know. I love that. It's such a simple thing, but when they're hiding from stormtroopers. They got captured by the Death Star, or not tractor beam from the Death Star in A New Hope. And, Obi-Wan makes a line of, Han's like, I never thought I'd be smuggling myself. And, Obi's like, who's the fool? Or, I forget what exactly says, but then Chewie pops out his head. He's like, "Arr," and then like Han just pets him. And I'm just like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
This is great. I think about number 2. Number 2, Empire Strikes Back again, when they have to close the doors and he lets out that little growl and he bangs his head on the ladder or the strut of the Falcon or whatever. I was just like, it's very touching. Yeah. I love that part. It's one of the coolest things because he's both his Han and his new friend Luke are out there and they don't know, and C-3PO's like, R2's been known to be wrong from time to time, blah, blah, blah. Like, ugh, just shut up. Yeah. Number 1 Chewie moment is when he yells at the mouse droid in A New Hope. I think that's just, it's comical. Yep. It's funny. Kind of cocks his head after he does it. Like, aren't you proud of me? Right. That I just scared the droid. I don't know. Chewie's one of those weird things where he's kind of like somewhat of a animal in a sense, but he's also very human. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of those cross between. And I think, again, Peter did a very good job of that. Yeah. So I hope I didn't steal all of yours, Heather, but no. How about some favorite Chewie moments from you?
Sadly, mine are not as organized as yours are.
That's fine.
But I do, one of my favorite Chewbacca moments, and it's, again, no real wording. It just shows the companionship between him and Han. There's that one moment where Han just sort of leans up against him like he's a pillar, and like it's just, Han's all being chill and whatever. And Han, but Chewie
Where did you dig up that old fossil?
But like Chewie just takes it. He's like, yep, this is what I like. And I just, because he just accepts Han. That relationship was just a really fun, tender moment.
Yes, of course.
One of my other favorites, and again, I feel like a lot of them are his connection with other characters, but I do love when Leia, get this, moving carpet out of the way, and there's just, and it's so subtle, but I feel like Chewbacca, he's kind of like, dude, who are you? We just met you, like,
right.
I think that's a super fun moment. I love him carrying C-3PO on his back, all discombobulated.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorite moments. I mean, a lot of what you've said too, obviously, are classics. Again, I don't know if this was Peter or Jonas. But in Force Awakens, when he's hurt and being looked at by the doctor, and he's all like, and she's like, "Oh, that sounds scary." Yeah, and I'm just like, "Oh,
you were very brave.
You were very brave." Yeah. That's so classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, but it's those moments for me that, like you kind of said, like sometimes he feels more like a pet, but he really has human characteristics, and that for as big and intimidating as he is, there's still some vulnerability in him, which I really like.
Yeah, I mean, even in The Force Awakens too, when, he sees Han die and he shoots Kylo, but he doesn't kill Kylo because, again, he also kind of raised Ben, so he didn't go for the kill shot. And, then he goes and when everything happens and he picks up Finn and all that, it's just like, wow, this guy's a beast, and then there's just that subtle moment before they go to Luke, and she steps in Han's cockpit, and he kind of gives her that nod, like, you can do it. And Rey has that kind of like nice little smile, and just like, yeah, that's Chewie.
Yeah.
So there you go. But yeah, so again, such a, now, really out of the classic, you have Kenny Baker, who passed away, and Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher, and now Chewbacca, Peter Mayhew. And it's just tough. There's a lot of great pictures out there, a lot of great behind the scenes, and a lot of people doing drawings, and, now you get to protect the princess in heaven, and, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's just crazy. But he was big. He was 7'3". He was big.
Yeah. And it was really sweet. I saw on Twitter or Instagram, I forget which, but one of the socials, that there was a local comic convention thing that he was supposed to be at, and so they set up his table with like a memorial for people to put memories in. And I just, applause to the Star Wars community for just getting it right. So
and then there was in that picture there was like one where R2's like looking at the mural. I'm like, oh dude, like at the table with all the flowers and stuff. I'm like, okay,
I'm not crying. Someone's cutting onions. I don't know.
As I get older, I'm just crying at everything.
Seriously.
And that's a tease for later. All right, so let's go to another news item.
Okay.
Again, thank you, Peter Mayhew.
Yes.
May the force be with you always,
and prayers to your family. And
yes. Okay, Lucasfilm unveils complete Journey to Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker publishly program exclusive. Get full details on the books and the comics tied into the upcoming film. I don't know if that's a run-on sentence, but that's the headline. That's the headline.
How you read it.
Yeah, that's how you read it. Okay, so on May the 4th, this is smart for Star Wars. They kind of know their product. So basically, they literally released all the novels and everything that's going to be here. So I'm just going to run through them real quick. Totally. Resistance Reborn. That's like a young Jedi or a young adult novel. Okay, here we go. I think we were talking with Danny from Kessel Run Weekly,
Yeah.
JD last week, yourself and myself about all these theories about the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
This book is called Force Collector.
What?
In the Journey to Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker, young adult novel set before The Force Awakens, a restless teenager sets out to discover what connection his mysterious Force powers have to the fabled Jedi and what the Force has in store for him. And he's got a bunch of stuff, like he's collecting stuff, like relics.
What?
Yes.
We just
I
told the future.
don't know.
All right.
There's a cute little golden book, Star Wars, What Are the Resistance? I Can't Stand the Cuteness.
It's too much.
And our Dio droids on there too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too cute. Seriously, guys, there's like so many books. I'm not even sure. Okay. I probably have 3 of these books, but I will get this one. The Ultimate Star Wars New Edition, forward by Anthony Daniels. That is, there's so many authors: Adam Bray, Cole Hort, Trisha Barr, all these good people. Okay, great. So this is a fully updated, comprehensive, detailed encyclopedia explores characters, creatures, locations, vehicles, technology found throughout the entire Star Wars galaxy. That comes out 10-4, people. 10-4, good buddy. There's this Journey to the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker Ultimate Pop-Up Galaxy. What?
Oh my gosh. I love a good pop-up book.
A deluxe pop-up book. That comes out 10-8. So you got 4 days to read the Ultimate. Then you could do 10-8. Yeah. Kind of lots of kids stuff. A lot of there's a search and find.
There's a magnetic playset. Sign this girl up.
Yes. Okay. Now, this is a Star Wars tradition for me since Disney bought this over. Okay. And it's literally, you got to get the art of the Rise of the Skywalker.
Yep.
I'm going to butcher Phil's last name, but Zostak, I don't know. He's awesome on Twitter. You got to go follow him. Dude, this cover is legit. It's Rey on the top half, and then like a mirror image, it's Kylo. I can't handle this.
It's really cool.
I can't handle this. Like, I literally can't. And then if you flip it kind of like sideways, it looks like the crest and with the lightsaber in the middle. It's like layers of an onion.
This is all on StarWars.com.
Yeah.
Journey to the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. So check
that
it out.
Comes out 12/20. So that comes out the date. So I always go on Amazon, pre-order this baby, and then I go watch the movie, and then it's there for me the next day, and I just soak it all in between multiple viewings of the film. So there you go. There's the other book that I want to mention is this is kid fiction. It's
good. If you weren't, I was gonna.
Okay, the Rise of Skywalker: The Galaxy Needs You by Caitlin Kennedy. Have you ever stopped to think about how there is nobody else in the galaxy who's exactly like you? This empowering picture book celebrates young heroes in the making and features illustrations that follow Rey on her own hero's journey. 12/17/2019. The cover looks legit.
Oh, it's so good.
The illustrator is Ida Caban. I think I'm saying that right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, seriously, there's actually more books that we didn't mention, but literally go to StarWars.com. You can check out The Journey to the Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker. Whew. Wow. That was a lot. So much. Okay. Here we go. Got to pay the bills. So you can check us out on social media. WSTR Media, if you're not familiar with that. Mailbox at WSTR Media if you want to email us. .com. You got to add the .com or it won't work. Voicemail. You can leave us a voicemail, 630-557-WSTR. That's 630-557-9787. Back catalog of episodes, 120 of them. Podcast.WSTRmedia.com. You can look on us. You can search us on YouTube. We're on YouTube. I don't know when we're going to live stream again. We will. It's going to happen. It will happen. You can search us on YouTube, WSTR Media, find us. We are brought to you by Audible. you can get 425,000 titles, and some of these books will be on here on Audible. You go to audibletrial.com/WSTR and you get a free 30-day trial. Get it on your iPhone, Android, Kindle, MP3 player. Get to keep the book. If you want to keep on subscribing, I recommend it. But if you don't, hey, 30 days, I got a free book. You get to keep it forever.
It's a long time.
Yeah, I also didn't mention this, but now I am. This is the first time Star Wars has done this, or Del Rey, I think, is the publisher. But they did exclusive audiobook that you can only get, on Audible.
What?
Okay. Yeah. So it's called Dooku Jedi Lost. Dude. This one is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. If you want to find out some back history about Mr. Count Dooku, oh, so good. Highly recommend it. I just finished it. It's really, 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 really good. So, if you want to try that out, you can for free at audibletrial.com/WSTR. We got merch, store.wstrmedia.com. You can be cool like Carla G and pick up our good friend Carla G. She blessed us with some Star Wars Celebration goodness. And she had her shirt, our merch shirt from us. You can go to store.wstrmedia.com. And we got everything. If it's winter by you, I don't know. We got hoodies. We got t-shirts, the whole nine. So check that out. All right, that's it. Okay, here we go. Twitter trash compactor.
Get in there, you big polio! I don't care what you smell. Get in there and don't worry about it.
All right, every week we're hanging in the tweets. We're in the Twitter universe, and this week is no different. We put up a poll, so here we go, people. Which Skywalker is rising? Write-ins welcomed. Okay, here we go. 4 choices. Kind of tough. Rey, Ben Solo, Anakin, Palpatine.
That's it.
That's it. What do you got? What do you think?
Well, I'm sticking with my gut, people. I think it's Ben Solo.
Okay.
I think it's Kylo.
I voted for Ben Solo as well, but Twitter has said Rey. There it is, Rey.
Okay. Seems too
we're
obvious, people.
Every week we do this, we're 1 week closer to the Rise of Skywalker, and we will find out collectively together.
Yes.
But Rey is currently the Skywalker. So they think she's a Skywalker.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, so on Aaron's request, he wants spicy tweets because he's not on the socials, and he's got his nose deep in books, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, whatever he's doing.
We don't know what he does.
We don't, do we? Okay, Heather, you know of Sonic the Hedgehog?
I do. He collects rings.
He does. Well, there's a new movie coming out.
Yes.
And if you're not familiar with video game movies, a lot of times they just miss the mark, you know?
It's true.
So a new trailer came out for Sonic the Hedgehog. No one asked for this movie, but it's coming to a theater near you. So
Sorry, I'm like, there's a lot of movies we don't ask for.
It's true. Hollywood, if you want to know the movies you want, just come and ask. WSTR Media will definitely give you.
Oh, sorry.
But
Go
Sonic,
ahead.
yeah. So there was a teaser poster, and everyone's like trying to figure out the character design, blah blah blah. They do the debut trailer last week. People hated it, Heather. They didn't hate the trailer. They didn't like how Sonic looked.
Oh my.
He was just
not
he had
good.
human teeth and fuzzy hair. He looked too real. And not like, so literally Twitter blowed up. And then, you know what's so funny, Heather?
What's funny?
Is that Super Mario Brothers, you're familiar with the two plumbers, correct?
I am indeed.
Yes. They also had a movie that came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
And it was horrible.
It wasn't.
It was like, people are like, did you even play the game? Like, everything was weird. The Bowser was weird. He's like he looked like a snake with the big trench coat, and it's just weird. So that trended more than Sonic the Hedgehog because they were saying Super Mario Brothers was actually better than Sonic the Hedgehog.
Whoa.
So guess what?
Tell me more.
Twitter won. And the director of Sonic the Hedgehog said, we are going to redesign Sonic. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how they're going to do it. So there you have it. Have you seen the picture of Sonic?
You know what? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I hadn't. So I just looked it up while we were talking about it. And yeah. Okay. Film production, doing a film, it's a whole process. Totally.
Right? And like everyone has to sign off on this, right? So some designers like, hey, we got all these different designs, and the studio's got to sign off on it. The director's got to sign off on it. Sega's got to sign off on it. Everyone liked it, or apparently liked it, but then the fans didn't like it. So
it's like he's got dentures.
It just looks weird, man. It's like human teeth and human eyes and a fuzzy little.
It's just.
And like honestly, like people are coming out like, hey, I redid this, and like they took like a still and did like some Photoshop, and theirs was better. It was just.
Because like it's like with Detective Pikachu, he at least still looks like Pikachu.
Right, exactly. I mean, hey, if we can accept Pokemons, I think we can accept Sonic the Hedgehog.
I'm just saying.
So
just putting that out there into the universe.
Yeah. Okay. All right. One more spicy tweet.
One more.
I know. Game of Thrones. I know you're an avid watcher.
He says with sarcasm. Yeah.
They're currently going through the final season of Game of Thrones. It's kind of like a big deal.
That's at least what the social medias tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, Starbucks is alive in Game of Thrones. So,
okay.
An Eagle Dive fan said, "Hey, is that a Starbucks cup on that table?" And sure enough, during this scene of conversation between the Mother of Dragons and, Jon Snow and all these people that we kind of know from pulp culture, but whatever. Yeah, Starbucks cup right there. So another thing, when you're doing TV and you're doing, I'm sure there's a lot of takes. And I'm sure she needed some tea or something. The Mother of Dragons needed some tea or some hot latte or something. Well, some production assistant or somebody forgot to remove the cup. So, red cup's right there. It's not really a red cup. It's definitely, it's a Starbucks cup. But
totally.
So yeah, if you're interested in that was trending all last night and this morning on. As of this recording, it was hot. It was hot, just like her coffee.
Oh gosh.
Oh man. All right. We got through all that. Here we go. Our main topic.
Let's do it.
And now for our feature presentation.
All right. So. We're going across the universe, people. We're getting out of the galaxy far, far away, and we're going into the Marvel cinematic universes, or, as the cool people say, MCU. 11 years, 22 films. Here we go. Avengers Endgame. Woo. Before we get into any kind of review, just so you're kind of aware, as of Monday the 6th, it's the fastest film to $2 billion at the box office. Avatar, which took 47 days to get to $2 billion. Avengers has done it in 11 days.
Mic drop.
So that is pretty insane. I don't, Heather, math's not really my strong point, but that's a lot of people going to the theater, don't you think?
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's something we've been waiting for. I think.
Yes.
It's clearly Endgame. It's in the title, so I don't feel like that's a huge spoiler.
Right. Is this the end or the middle?
Yeah. And I think the other piece of it is obviously for the way Infinity War ended, I think there was a clamoring to know, holy crap, what are they going to do now?
Right.
So, yeah.
I
think that helped a lot too.
I use the I use the calculator while you're talking. I was paying attention too, but it's like $181 million a day.
It's insane.
It's just what are people not working, Heather? What are they doing?
No.
They're just going to the movie theater.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
It's hard, it's hard to know, man. It's hard to know. I mean, obviously, I think there's theaters who did it correctly, and it's like we have 10, screens. 8 of them are showing Avengers. The other 2 were random films.
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
All right, so the spoiler ban has lifted, so
True.
It's a perfect opportunity. And that's why we're talking about it now. But let's do, if you haven't seen it, let's do a quick spoiler-free, high-level. What did you think, Heather?
Excellent. I did really enjoy it. I will say it's probably not my favorite Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But I did really enjoy it. I think they wrote a really good overarching story of all of the characters involved. I love Chris Evans. I can say that, right?
You heart him?
I hurt you, Chris Evans.
You could say that. You could say that.
Okay, great. I also hurt you, Paul Rudd.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, I think, wow, how do I do this without spoiling things? I think the writers made really
So it's not your favorite. Okay, let's I'll try to help you so you don't say anything. So it's not your favorite. I'm
clearly really bad at this. It's not my favorite.
Okay. But did you come out of it I liked it, or
Oh no, I came out of it liking it. I mean, there are really good moments in there. I mean, I can't say that part. I'll say that in a little bit. But
our spoiler-free version.
Wow, I am not good at this. Okay, I really enjoyed it. I think that you have to see it. I'm actually going to go see it again tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So, because it's 3 hours, people. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of meat. So, it's definitely a second view situation in a theater. I think I really loved how they tied the whole universe into the film, which will make sense in the spoiler section of our review. But I do understand if others didn't enjoy it as much. But I
Okay.
left being
Okay.
satisfied. Yeah, let's say that.
Okay, cool. I'm going to keep it short because I really want to get talking about it. But yeah, I'm on the same boat. It's not my favorite film of the Avengers, but it is definitely good. And I felt like coming out of it, and I'm in the same boat. I really want to see it again, but I felt like it hit all the right buttons for me. It had enough mix of humor, action, and character development because at this point we kind of know where everyone stands, and so it's more of action driven in a sense to get to the end. But time travel's tricky, and we'll get into that in a second. But I thought overall it was a good film, but not my favorite. Definitely not my favorite.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
all right, if you're like, okay, I haven't seen 11 days, you're not one of these million of people that have dumped some cash to go see it, put the episode on pause, come back. Here we go. All right. Let's get right into it, Heather.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
The first opening 10 minutes.
Ugh, just, you get a different perspective. So you see Hawkeye, you see this in the trailer. Hawkeye's, there were some thoughts about Kate Bishop being a part of that, but it's his family, and they're doing target practice. Him and his daughter, they're having lunch outside, and he turns around, they're gone.
All the family.
Oh, gut punch. I didn't cry then. I was just like, hurts.
I'm pretty confident I leaned over to my friend who I went to see it with and was like, this is how they're starting it? I'm like, I'm not ready for 3 hours. This is not going to go well. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of the opening.
Yep.
And also in the trailer, they're kind of back at headquarters and just, being frumpy. And they're being frumpy. But then now you kind of cut to Tony Stark and Nebula, who are in a ship, and they're dying. And Tony Stark looks like super skinny. He's like emaciated because he's not eating. And
Right.
he's saying his farewell message to Pepper Potts, and you're just like, dude, no. It was too much for me.
It's rough. It's hard.
Yeah. But they're Nebula and Stark are making modifications as they can to get the most out of it, of the ship, but they're kind of derelict and they're just out there. But then they cut back to the frumpies, and because everyone is gone, and Captain Marvel was there, shows up.
Yep.
And she basically goes and finds him.
Yep.
And she brings him back.
Yep.
And the first thing Tony says to Heartthrob Chris Evans, Captain America, I lost a kid.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I know.
Ugh.
I don't even know what to say. It just sucks because that he's literally been sitting in this ship by himself.
Yeah.
Agonizing over this.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Right. And he also doesn't know if Pepper's alive or not.
Right.
And so when she comes, they're there, they reunite. It's awesome. But, he gets mad. He's mad because he's like, I saw this. And, this kind of goes back to Civil War. There's a split, either Team Stark or Team Cap. And, it's one of those things. So they basically put Tony down and they kind of talk about what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And is this when they go 5 years later already? Or no. Mm-mm. Sorry. So they go find Thanos, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because this is where at the end of Infinity War, Thanos is like rubbing the grass, so that, he's kind of by himself. He's in this like thing, and that's where Nebula's like, hey, yeah, that's where he's going to be at. And they go after him. And this is like 20 minutes into the film,
Yep.
And what happens next, Heather?
Well, Thanos isn't looking too great.
No.
I feel like.
Yeah.
And they do this whole plan to attack him and cut off his arm, and they discover that he's destroyed all the Infinity Stones.
So any chance of bringing back their friends
is immediately gone. Yeah, so any thought of reusing those stones to bring them back is now completely gone. And, that's disappointing.
Put it lightly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, put it lightly.
But I will say, it's like you're saying, this is like 20, 25 minutes into the film. And we've already rescued Tony.
Yep.
Captain Marvel's a big deal now. We're
Yes.
searching for Thanos.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you're kind of like, that is like, bam, bam, bam. You're like, where the heck is this film going?
Right. And
So I will give credit to that, as I didn't feel
Yeah.
like it was a predictable
Marvel
Marvel movie, which
agreed,
was really
agreed.
great.
Because basically at this point too, Thor, out of all the Avengers, Thor is taking this the hardest because, again, Thanos basically teased him. He's like, you should have went for the head.
Yeah.
And he snapped his fingers and everything happened, and everyone's dealing with guilt.
Yes.
A lot, and a lot of, obviously remorse for their friends, and Thor does a miss and goes for a head and kills him.
Yep.
Just like that. Boom. And you're like, that's it.
It's it.
That's it. Roll credits. So this is when they flash forward 5 years later.
Yep.
And people, they have basically Captain Marvel and Captain America in
like support groups.
a support group, and it's just like taking one day at a time, and it's and then they kind of cut back to Black Widow's kind of still running the Avengers, and everyone's off in different areas.
Yep.
And she's not having a good day. She's having peanut butter jelly sandwich, and she's just not loving life.
Yeah.
And what happens next there, Heather?
Yeah, she has a really great conversation with Captain America. I want to point this out because I think for the breadth of time that we know Black Widow, I mean, she's a Russian spy. She's a soldier to an extent. And you finally get to see the reverse side of her talking about this being her family. And so she's fighting for her family. And it's a really great, refreshing side for her as a character, which I appreciate. Because it also didn't feel too forced, which I liked. And obviously Captain has a way of getting people to open up to him too. So that's why I think it felt really natural.
Yeah, he's kind of natural with that.
Yeah, so that was really good. And then I'm not remembering my sequence, Todd, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is the time where they hear the doorbell. And if that's the case, then we missed a scene previous, didn't we?
We could. I mean, again, you gotta go see the film. We only seen one film.
I mean, I can't remember, but basically, their Avengers headquarters doorbell goes off.
Yeah. Well, if we're gonna back a scene, basically, a rat.
A rat saves
all of
it.
Brings back Scott Lang, who is Ant-Man. He's back. And he kind of goes through the scene of there's a home memorial. He's seeing all these posters.
Yes.
We saw one quick shot in the trailer of him looking at a telephone pole with all this missing people, stuff. And it's pretty powerful. when he gets to the door of the house, his daughter's there, which I was like, with I was thinking if she's dead, if his family's dead, I don't know if I can handle it. Because just like, again, with Hawkeye, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can handle this. But she's like older. She's older.
Yep.
And he's like, wow, Next scene, cut to humor, is like, there he's at the doorbell, like, hey, remember me? And they're both, both Black Widow and Cap are like, was this a recording? No, this is outside right now. Yada yada yada. They're like, I'm in the tiny microverse, and this is a quantum realm and all this kind of stuff. And he basically says, hey, I think we can do something with time travel, and we need somebody that can do the time travel thing. And the only smart person to do that is Tony.
Right.
So they go to Tony's house. He's in the woods, and he's got a little something extra, right, Heather?
Oh my gosh. He's got a little girl. It was not good, people. I was freaking out. He and Pepper are like married. He's got this little girl. She's maybe like 5 or 6 or something.
6, yeah.
Just so adorable. I mean, I don't think any of us are surprised of like Robert Downey Jr. as a father, but to have him then put that into Iron Man as a father. Yes. It's again, from where he came from to where he is, it's like he found that missing piece, he found that happiness that he's always looking for. It's not in stuff. It's it's in that human element, and he finally had that, and so they have a cute little exchange. They have a cute little exchange. And they go and show up, and basically he doesn't want to help them. Right. He's like, I don't want to do this. I have a future. My future's here. I had a second chance.
You can stay for lunch. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You can stay for lunch, but don't talk work, So they leave. So now Bruce is on. They're going to go to Bruce. And Bruce is a combination of Hulk and regular Bruce Banner. And that's a super funny moment. Like just him taking selfies at lunch. And it's just... He's found this happy medium of... Yeah. It's such a great... It's so awesome how they do that. And... He's like, and Ant-Man's like, how are you doing this? He's like, just taking the best of both worlds, Totally. So, so they kind of go, they have a little fun, but Bruce can't get it right. And so Scott's super old. Scott goes back. He's super old. He's a baby. He's a teenager, just can't get it right. And then, Tony shows up. I mean, it's hard. They hit a nerve. It's not something he can necessarily give up. I mean, he was at home. He figured it out, this whole space travel thing, or time travel thing, excuse me. And, he basically goes to Pepper's like, I figured it out. I know what to do. And she basically says, well, could you live with not doing anything, and with just the possibility out there? And he's like, no. And he's like, you got to do what you got to do. Yep. So he shows up the only way Tony can, a nice fast sports car. But here again, he shows his heart, and he gives Cap his shield, a new shield.
Too much, people. It's too much.
It's too much. But I mean, again, it just shows where he's progressed from a character perspective of like, the old Tony would have kept that grudge, but I thought they were going to hug, but he basically gave him a shield. And I think that was good enough for those two, because they're still kind of on the opposite sides of where their beliefs are, I think, still. But
it's the beginning of an olive branch, but
it's still making amends, So now they're getting the gang back together, and Scott's trying to eat tacos, and he can't eat tacos, and it's a fun little moment of bringing everyone back. And to me, dude, this is where I really think from all over, like, even though Robert Downey Jr. was amazing as Iron Man, Chris Hemsworth as Thor in this film stole it for me.
Okay.
I just love his performance because he's all over the place on this, very grief stricken at the beginning. And now Rocket and Hulk go and they're going to get Thor in New Asgard, which is like in Norway.
Yeah.
And they kind of alluded this into a couple films, but basically this is, the Asgardians are dispersed and now they're making a new home in Norway. And Thor, they go pick up Thor and he's playing Fortnite with his friends, his two little alien friends. I love those guys, Korg and whatever that little bug guy is. And Thor's drunk and he's a little fat, Heather.
He gained a little weight.
A little chubby. A little chubby.
A little chubby. Yeah, this is interesting. And please hear this as not because I miss him all beefed up. I'm not loving this direction for the character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny because it's not what you're expecting. I think they just took it too far.
Okay. I heard. See, I like it. I think from him acting the way he is, it's a totally different side of Thor.
Yeah.
He's defeated and again, killing somebody, we can bring this to Star Wars. Killing somebody does not make everything right. Just like, again, we talked about this before, like, Yoda and Obi-Wan are like, hey, Luke, just kill Darth Vader. It'll make everything right. It doesn't make everything right.
It doesn't.
Killing the Emperor, as we find out, doesn't make everything right. So Thor killing Thanos does not bring satisfaction to him and doesn't bring closure to him. And he's miserable. And so he's drinking and he's eating pizza and playing games all day, which most people would think would be awesome, but he's been doing it for 5 years and, put on a little weight. So I understand he's basically comic relief in a sense, but I understand what you're saying. I think I really like him acting this more than, I guess, the character span. So we get everybody back. He's kind of like, even Tony's like called him the Big Lebowski. He looks like he's just homely. He's just homely. And so they're trying to figure out how to do the time travel thing. They figure it out, and then they're trying to figure out basically where the stones are at and how to place them. And so this is again, time travel movies, I always go back to the Future. Like that's what I know. You can't contact with your old self and all that jazz. It's a little confusing, but at the same time, it's time travel. So we're not scientists. So they do a good job of trying to explain it, blah, blah, blah. So they kind of go in different eras to find where they're at. And I thought this was cool. I think it's New York where they have 3 stones. So Hulk goes to the Avengers where Doctor Strange is supposed to be, but then we find the ancient one there, which is a very cool kind of. She's like, Doctor Strange is operating down there, and so she knows that Hulk is not from this time period, which is totally cool. So they have a couple conversations and kind of cut back and forth. It's cool because they kind of do. You see, they show the Avengers like assembling, but they're like on a side street, so it's kind of cool seeing a different perspective.
Totally.
And then Cap and Iron Man go to where they're in Avengers Tower, right? And it's Cap, Iron Man, and Ant-Man. So Ant-Man, they're gonna get the Tesseract, and we get to see Cap versus Cap,
which is awesome.
Oh, you can only get so much Chris Evans, but double the Chris Evans is double the fun. So it's kind of interesting. It was very interesting. It was cool. I thought that was awesome.
And I'm sorry, the butt of America or whatever the line is. That's gold.
The exact Tony's like, that's America's.
Oh,
butt,
it is.
you know?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So then they fight, and then Cap kind of makes a comment to it, but then he gets in the elevator. So if you're not, this is a throwback to Civil War. This is fantastic. It's fantastic because it's Civil War, and in this film, in Civil War, he fights like a bazillion people. Boom, 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 in
the elevator. Yeah.
This time they're all tense. Same thing, same scene, and he leans over to the gentleman, and he's like, "Hail Hydra!" Boom, takes the case. Things don't go this way. Loki disappears. It doesn't work out.
Yeah.
It doesn't work out. But they time travel back to what was that? What time period was that? I don't even know.
Late 60s?
Late 60s?
Maybe early 70s.
Tony, yeah. So they kind of screw up, and they're like, okay, we can go back here and get this. And Tony meets his dad. Great.
Woo.
It's too much. It's too much. He calls himself, what do he calls him? Pepper something. I don't know. Howard,
oh man, I only saw it the one time. I don't remember.
Howard Potts or I don't know.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. So they have this great exchange about fatherhood. He's basically Tony's there where he's like, he just found out that the wife's pregnant with Tony. I mean, it's just, and Tony actually hugs him, and then Cap has a scene with Peggy Carter.
Ugh.
Just too much.
Too much, people.
Too much. Nebula and War Machine go to get our good friend Star-Lord.
Yeah.
And that's fun because you see it from a different perspective. And,
it's true. Yeah.
Star-Lord looks like a doofus, but they take him out and they basically get I forget which stone it is, but they get what they need. We see Star-Lord do that in the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy. But here's where it gets a little tricky. So past Thanos and past Nebula and past Gamora.
Yep.
The past Gamora glitches because new Gamora is recording.
Yep.
Because they're in the same time space now. And so there's two Nebulas. And Thanos kind of figures it out.
And it's interesting because I wonder, because she's more machine at this point, if there's a different connection or a different element of just don't just run into your other self.
Right,
the time travel rules have altered or shifted.
So
I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
no. Basically, they find out they have the same Wi-Fi password.
There you go.
Whoa, what's going on? So Thanos reviews the footage, sees what they did, and basically sees the future with future Nebula's memory. Blah blah blah. He's like, all right, I know what's going on. So now that kind of fell apart. And then here's another heartbreaker. We have Black Widow, Hawkeye go get the Soul Stone. And we all know that didn't end well for Gamora, right?
No, we don't need to talk about this part. I mean, we do.
Yeah, but basically they fight. You kind of feel like it's Hawkeye because that's the other thing we forgot to mention. Hawkeye's not in a good space either 5 years later.
No.
He's basically killing people and he's just broken. He's broken again, just like Thor in a different way. He's broken and just a killing machine. Yeah. Black Widow reaches out and grabs his hand, which is a very touching moment in that scene. And so anyways, they're also fighting over who's basically going to kill himself because we as the audience know the deal. I don't think they knew the deal. Maybe, I don't know, because Gamora's not there at the end of Infinity War. But anyways, so kind of goes back and forth. I really thought it was Hawkeye. It ends up being Black Widow. She dies. He gets a Soul Stone. They all come back, and Natasha's not there, and it's just not good. So now they have all the stones. Did we miss anyone? There's 3. Well, anyways, I'm trying.
No.
It's been.
Yeah, no, we missed a whole big one. Thor and Rocket go back to Asgard. This is the
That's
whole.
right. Oh, that's right.
The whole Natalie Portman.
Yes.
Ether
this is why
situation.
But so again, in Dark Worlds, he really didn't have a lot of interaction with mom. So we have this very tender moment with her mom.
Yeah.
And that's where I was saying, like, to me, this is like Chris Hemsworth is just acting his butt off.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He doesn't want to go. He goes, Rocket basically takes out Natalie Portman, and it's basically the day before everything goes bad and Thor's mom's gonna die like they're coming right before it.
Yep.
And he has a sweet moment and he calls the hammer, which is amazing. And but they leave, and so so they get that. Basically next they put all the stones together. Hulk, Bruce Banner, is the one that does it, and snaps his fingers, but old Thanos shows up.
Yeah, so does that really go well? Not really as they
doesn't go well
because old Thanos saw the recording of
future Nebula.
He then shows up. All hell breaks loose.
Yes, explosions. Everyone's not in a good spot again.
Yeah,
and so now it's pretty much Iron Man, Cap, and Thor.
Yep.
And the cool part about Thor, even though he basically now he has the hammer and his
the
Stormbreaker
Breaker.
or whatever.
Yep.
Yes. And he grows a beard and it's awesome. And
I'm going to give him points for that. That was pretty good. That was all Norse god with the beard and the braiding.
Oh,
I'm like,
he
all
looked
right, that's pretty
amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
So they basically have a 3-on-1 with Thanos, and Thanos gets the upper hand. And basically Tony's knocked out, Thor's knocked out. It's just Cap. Cap is going at him. And he breaks the shield. Yeah, it's not looking good. There's a great shot. There's a couple great shots in this where it's just really like Cap by himself and now Thanos with his army of everybody. And, there's a whole little thing where Hawkeye sees the glove and he's trying to get the glove to the surface, and all the crazy dog creatures from Infinity War are back. So they're trying to get everybody out. War Machine, Hulk, and Ant-Man are trying to get up from the rubble, all this stuff. Yeah, it's just bad. Yeah, this is where for me, I kind of start losing it, It's just, yeah. So basically, at this point too, Cap's kind of on his lack. Well, is this when Cap calls the hammer?
See, I don't remember. All I remember though was having a legit freak out moment.
This is me. I'm just like, I'm the loud clapper. I'm like,
so
yes!
Listeners, forgive the fact that we're not 100% in sequence because whatever. But battle Captain calls Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
Thor's hammer comes straight at him, and he wields that thing like he's been doing it for years. And you've got Thor in the background being like, I knew it. And not like at all jealous, just like legit, like, hell yeah. Keep fighting, dude.
Right.
And it was awesome.
Cap shows us. Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, yes, I was clapping really loud for
probably my favorite part.
Yeah. It's my number 2.
Oh, okay.
But it's yeah. So so now I think that's before. So here's the other cool part. So now it's Cap shield's broken.
Yep.
It's him and Thanos. He's like, basically, I'm going to enjoy killing you. You know, it's like the end.
Yeah.
And Cap just like tightens up the shield. You're just like, dude, this, you know. And then Falcon's like on your left. And then you could see slightly in the background, one of the portals open of Doctor Strange. And everyone comes out. It's great. It's great. So now,
I mean,
it's
like
just
everyone.
Everyone. You got Black Panther. You got Spidey. You got Doctor Strange. You got everybody.
But then, like all of like the Black Panther army and like all of like the not
Doctor
just
Strange,
like your 9 people, but like
they're bringing everybody. Yeah, so Black Panther's bringing all his, you know, Wakanda, and you know, like Wakanda forever, and it's just so good. Everyone shows up. Everyone's there.
Pepper Potts is there. People.
Pepper Potts in an Iron Man suit.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's pretty much.
It's the fight we've been waiting for.
Yeah. It's. I mean, as good as Infinity War at Wakanda is, because it is amazing.
It's good, yeah.
This one's like so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
We get a bunch of different hero moments. Here's my favorite part is when Iron Man sees Peter Parker, and Peter Parker's talking like a mile a minute, and he just hugs him. I lost it. I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. But can we just like for a moment, okay, I know, Aaron, you have issues with Tom Holland.
Yes.
But this kid who just like, you could tell like didn't miss a beat. It's like he disappeared and then he came back still saying, like talking, like you said, like blah, 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 blah.
And they just have a hug. And again, it shows you how far Tony's came, you know, and like how far he has as like a person in this space. And it's just like, wow. Yeah. You know, again, it goes back to the earlier statement where it's like, I lost the kid, and it just sits on you. Now that he's a father, he knows he wants to be more to Peter than what he was, you know?
Yep.
And just gives him hugs. Oh, so it's like, I can't take it. So lots of stuff going on. Lots of bad guys and good guys fighting. A lot of hero moments.
Yep.
They have a girl power moment where everyone gets together. Spidey's trying to get the glove. And he gets knocked down. And basically we have all the girls basically taking on a bunch of baddies, which is a great moment, I think. It's just a lot of great battles and fun little moments that we kind of got a little bit in Infinity War, but this is like at least times 10, you know? Yeah. And so then Tony puts it on, right?
So basically there's this small moment between Tony and Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Where in Infinity War, you know, there's a conversation had, and Doctor Strange is pretty clear there's really only one outcome. And so when Tony
and he says it he says the title. He's like, we're in the Endgame now.
Yeah. And so there's this moment, and Todd's freaking out for those who can't visually see what's going on. When Doctor Strange and Tony have this moment, it's sort of this like Tony understands what he has to do and almost looks to Doctor Strange for confirmation, excuse me. That what he's thinking is unfortunately that one choice. And so he puts the glove on. Yeah. Does what he needs to do for the greater good.
Right.
But unfortunately he doesn't handle the power. And so
he can't. Yeah, he can't. And then there's another scene with him and Peter. I'm crying again. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't handle this. And then there's the last scene with him and Pepper, and she basically, you basically, you can rest now, you know. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. So then they go, and then it kind of flashes to Tony's place, and they have like a little funeral, and kind of like a who's who of who's survived, you know, and
Yep.
yeah, it's great. I mean, the one kid that I didn't know, he's kind of, because the camera kind of starts with and kind of goes through all the different people.
Yep.
There's one. There's a nod even to Hulk with Ross, who's the arms, general. He's there, which I thought was pretty awesome. But there's a kind of older kid, like a teenager. I'm like, I don't know who that is. Looked it up. It's the kid from Iron Man 3 that helped Tony out in the garage. And just like, So then, there's Morgan mourning and Happy have a moment. She wants a cheeseburger, and he's like, yeah, your dad loved cheeseburgers. And then they watch a thing, and there's an earlier thing which we didn't mention, but we'll mention now. He basically says, how much you love me, and she's like, I love you 3,000, like 3,000 times more. And he says that at the end of the message, and you're just like, it's okay. So then Cap is there, and they have a time machine, a mini time machine, and it's like
they're returning the stones.
They have to return the stones and restore time or whatever. And he's gone. And then he misses his mark, and then he comes back, and they kind of point, and he's sitting on a bench by the lake, and he's older. Like Clint Eastwood older.
Like yeah, he's an old man.
Yeah.
And it's just really sweet though, Todd, because can I speak about this? Because
yeah, this is all you.
So, my friend Deb, who, we've mentioned a few times on the podcast, she and I have a great love of the Bucky-Steve relationship. We think there's something really special and sadly not fully tapped in what that is. And Sebastian Stan, you are not on the list either. Anyway, and so it's really sweet when Bucky sees Captain as an old man. You can kind of see him just sort of go through all the years being like, yep, totally makes sense. And kind of just encourages Falcon to kind of go over there. And like when they're interacting and Steve gives his shield to Falcon, your heart breaks a little bit, but then they cut to Bucky, who's basically giving his sign of approval as well to this whole process. And it's just this really sweet moment. And I think I will say I am not happy with the Steve Rogers decision this way. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't like it.
Yeah.
But but it is beautifully ending that
ending the two hero characters of Cap and Iron Man.
Yes. Because
pretty on point.
It really is. I mean, Captain was our first Avenger. He is the one who got lost in his time and had the opportunity to go back. Iron Man started this whole thing, and the fact that his death really sort of, in my opinion, closed that chapter really beautifully. It was just, that's the part where I started being like, I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't, this is too much. The movie's too much.
Well, that's why, and that's why I said at the earlier beginning, I think it hits all the right buttons for me. I feel like it has emotional impact. It has weight.
Yep.
They didn't do a cheesy ending. All ththese major films and all these major, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, all the, even Star Wars, like, all these trilogies or big type movies. This is a lot of movies, and the way they ended this phase, this chapter, I think it's really well done. Again, not my favorite film.
Agreed.
But again, they didn't, I'm kind of mad too. They didn't do anything about Natasha, then they have like a little funeral for her. I mean, she sacrificed herself too for this thing. And I know it's Tony's thing, and maybe not a lot of people would know Natasha because she is Black Ops, but still, like they could have done, it kind of goes back to like, again, like if we're looking at Force Awakens, like, wait, you couldn't have Chewie and Leia hug? Like you couldn't have like this moment where the people, especially when they just come out, like Natasha's gone, like they couldn't have a moment together of mourning, and I felt like it moved too quickly behind her sacrifice because we know it was a big one.
Yep.
So I kind of have problems with that, and then really the other thing is like when you have the gauntlet, the logistics here is like, remember when Thanos starts adding stones. There's that one part where he just has to think it and it happens. Remember when, like with the bubble gun and the when they're all kind of cubists, like he just, with the reality stone or whatever, he just thinks it and it happens. He doesn't have to snap it. And so the logistics of like they have to actually snap it was, to me, like you have the power. The glove is power. You don't need to snap it. It was just the snapping was the kind of the final thing of killing everybody. But like the other stones are still there where it's in your mind. You could just think it or whatever. But that's logistics. I know a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people have problems with the time thing. I'm not smart enough to think about it with alternate time realities and what if Cap's old and, like I think it's pretty well mapped out. And, Bruce and the Ancient One have kind of like this. She's like, you can't do that. Time's like this one thing. And he's like, oh, but if you do this, I'm like, oh, okay. Makes sense. So I don't know. So I think that's pretty much it.
I mean, we covered a good chunk of it, people. So
we'd definitely love to hear what you think of Avengers Endgame. So please let us know on the socials. But yeah, that's our review of Across the Universe Avengers Endgame. It's a great ending, I think, and in fact, today on Monday the 6th, like the Spider-Man Far Away From Home trailer dropped, and they're already moving on, and they already have, so if you haven't seen Endgame, don't watch a trailer, but after you've seen Endgame, watch a trailer, and it already looks great. And so I think that's it, Heather.
Wow. It's crazy. It was a lot of information, but good. But regardless, see it again, see it a second time. Yeah. Find all those little holes you missed the first time you watched it. And
That's it.
Just have a good time with it.
Right.
Okay, let's just do that. So, all right, Todd, that's it. I'm going to end this thing.
Do it.
So, friends, thank you again for listening to another episode of WSTR Galactic Public Access. Like Todd said, check us out on our social media, WSTR Media, all lowercase, all one word. Comment and tweet and rate us on iTunes and tell us all the things we're doing right and all the things we're doing wrong and all your theories. You can email us at mailbox@wstrmedia.com, or you can leave a voicemail for us at 630-557-WSTR, 630-557-9787. And you're going to be like these really cool people that reached out to us. We have Allison Kastner, which is at Allie Kastner. She says, she looks like she posted something on her social media here. She states, Leia and Han are her parents. Han left when Leia was pregnant and didn't know she was pregnant or ever had a kid. Due to some kidnapping or other tragedy, Leia thought Rey was dead. Rey isn't her real name. Maybe Brea is.
So that's a Rey theory.
So we've got a Rey theory here. So
yes, thank you, Allison.
Wow, thanks. That's huge.
So that ties right into our Twitter poll. She is a Skywalker and a Solo. Yeah.
So there you go. That's an option.
It's option. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I don't, like we talked about last week, I don't think Kylo was lying.
Right.
But I don't think he was telling the truth. And I feel like again, it's just weird. You could play it either way. You could
Totally.
say, because, Force Awakens, she has a connection with Han right away. They keep on finishing each other's sentences. And yeah, so
we'll see.
that's very good.
I don't
Yeah.
Todd, I got another theory for you.
Okay.
This one's on the Emperor.
The Emperor.
This is from Bradley C. C as in cat. He is at tweets at goats.
That's two ats.
That's
at
two
tweets
ats.
Tweets at goats.
He's like an at.
Yeah.
I am so funny. All right. Bradley states, I have a theory.
That was for you, Aaron.
There's the Aaron. I knew we got one in there. So Bradley states, I have a theory that Anakin was unable to kill those he was closest to. Ahsoka, I totally did it wrong. Ahsoka, for instance, I don't think is actually dead. And Papa Palpatine was very close to him. I think Palpatine was in hiding because he knew he was not the most powerful anymore. So Heather doesn't know how to say things.
Ahsoka. I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah, that's awesome, Bradley. I think it
So
could be. I mean,
maybe he wasn't dead.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's hard to say. He didn't.
Yeah.
say-
So yeah, again, like Heather said, just like email us, tweet us, whatever.
Tell us. We want
We'll
to
take it.
know.
We'll take it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness. But yeah. And just don't forget we've got merch. Help us spread the good word of Star Wars through our podcast at store.wstrmedia.com. So get that small coffee mug or commit to a full outfit, whatever you want to do. We've got you
That's right.
covered. And then next week we are episode 122.
Oh, yes.
And I'm sure we'll talk about Star Wars.
Oh, okay. That's good.
I mean, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We talk Star Wars. So yeah. So
And Marvel
And Marvel
sometimes,
sometimes, but-
whatever.
so yeah. So stay tuned for all of the news so that you are aware, and go see the movie if you haven't.
It will be Titanic.
It did beat Titanic.
Well, but I think it's not.
I thought I saw that it officially did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to if it hasn't
Okay.
officially done.
Well.
Yeah. I think it's like the difference between local and global. I think it's tomato at this point, but it's pretty close to eclipsing.
Gotcha.
And just the fact that it has done it in almost under 2 weeks is just silly. Just silly. Yeah. So yeah, go see it. Go see it.
Anyway. All right. Well, Todd, are you
Yes.
at the ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Now, this
This
is podcasting.
Podcasting. We love you, Tony.
Aw.
We love you, Cap, Mr. Steve Rogers. Always in our hearts.
We love you, Peter. Mayhew.